we are here. Today we want to learn a lot concerning money. How do we handle money? How will we be able to budget on things? In as much as I know most of us haven't really gotten there, we do not have a pay slip, we do not earn anything, but it is said that knowledge is power. And before we actually get there, we'll be able to know how do we manage these finances. And one of the ways that this can be done is through career mentorships. Bridging our careers with financial education, so that when it gets to a point you're employed, you have a job and you're earning, how will you be able to earn, how will you be able to budget and handle your money? So today we are going to have our guest, Mr. Sambu. He is a human capital consultant at Old Mutual, and let's exploit the knowledge that he's going to give us today. Let's be open to the information that you're going to receive today, and ask as many questions as you can. Sawa sawa. Thank you. Karibu sana, Mr. Sambu.
I start by introducing myself. I want to start by greeting you and appreciating the invitation to be here. Achamage. Achamage. Hi. Am I in Eldoret? Huh? Good afternoon. Oh, so that one is easier. Bwana asifiwe. Even that one is easier. Habari za mchana. Kiswahili kimefukuzwa. So thank you very much, Gloria. My name is Sam Sambu. Just Sam, then the other one you add BU, it forms the second name, Sam Sambu. It's true, I work for All Mutual as a human capital consultant. I've been with All Mutual for above 10 years in different roles. As a trainer, as a human resource consultant, as so many other roles within the human capital. We call it human capital because it's not just human souls, it is you are a capital. And capital is anything that gives you return. So if your profession, if your professionalism, if your skill is not a capital, it is just a resource, then you need to ask yourself some questions. So in a nutshell, that is who I am, and apart from just being a consultant at Old Mutual, I handle a number of things, including resourcing. Resourcing means looking for employees, people who want a job, and scouting for those talents. And if I spot a good one, yes, I invite you, because Old Mutual is big, is the best employer for many years, it has been the best employer for many years, and because you are the best, we also want to partner with the best. I think that small introduction will do us justice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we want to learn a lot of experience, right? A certain period of experience in the field. But that is something most graduates cannot be able to live up to. But there are ways that students can be able to learn these skills or learn certain skills and qualities while still in school. So, what are some of the key skills and qualities that employers are looking for in today's job market, and how can students develop?
I want to start from the first comment, and that will drive my agenda for these few minutes that I have. Experience. Which experience? People say, where can a graduate get work experience? That is as well as saying a graduate does not work or has never worked. But is it true that you have never worked? You have never worked. You have never worked. People, you have never worked. By the time you are graduating, you have never worked. Maybe we need to define what is work. Because by the time you even finished high school, most of you had worked. By the time you came to college, you had worked. By the time you are graduating, you have been working. Unless you are telling me, which I'll now be concerned, that from the day you came to planet Earth to date, you have never worked. I mean, wewe hakuna kazi ushawaifanya. Is it true? Is it true? Hata kuchunga ng'ombe hujawahi fanya, kuuza kwa duka hujawahi fanya, homework hujawahi fanya, kupika chai hujawahi fanya, kuombea watu kanisani hujawahi fanya. You have never worked. So allow me to call you comrades. It is not just the problem about that question is usually our perception and our understanding of what is being asked in terms of experience. And to answer it better, I would want to start by defining a career, because all of you are building a career, isn't it? There's a difference between a career and an occupation. You know, you could be occupied, but you don't have a career. And the fact that you are doing something does not necessarily mean that you are building something. Occupation basically means you are occupied. Whatever is occupying you is another story. Whether it is positive or negative, but you are occupied. You are very deliberate. And it is you are going to do for a long period of time, and it has chances of progression. You are able to move from one level to the next level to another level. So, a career could be an occupation that is for a long time but has progression. But where there's no progression, you're just occupied, then that is not a career. That is just an occupation. I'm occupied. And so our challenge today as students is to start thinking deliberately about a career, something that you want to do for a long time and you want to grow in it to a higher level. It is not just something that you are doing to get yourself occupied. You ask yourself, unafanyanga nini? Nafanyanga tu. Nini? Niko tu. Unafanya nini? No, nakuanga, you know, that is no occupation. You cannot even define it yourself what you are doing. To tie it now to the issue of experience, all of us have experience. It's only that sometimes when you're asked that question in interview or when you see that requirement on a job advert, you quickly think in terms of an experience in a certain career. So, you are an accountant and you're told you should have 3 years experience. Some adverts will go an extra mile and say 3 years experience in telling you exactly the kind of experience they're asking. Others will just say 2 years experience. I've heard some motivational or some stories of people who appeared in interviews without any experience and they have not even graduated and they convinced the panel until they got to the job. And they left others who had many experience, many papers, but they could not convince the panel that they have experience. Why? Because we keep thinking that experience is another something that's, you know, that as a start date, nilianza kuwa mwalimu tarehe 7 mwezi wa Januari, and nimefika tarehe 7 next year, now I have an experience for 1 year. That is experience in teaching that adds to your many other experience. Are we together up to that point? So all of us have experience. And for us to manage our career is now about us to ask yourself, I have experience, but what kind of experience? And start being deliberate on what kind of experience you want, so that even when you're doing whatever you're doing every day, you're occupied, whatever occupies you, it is something that builds towards your career. So that when you ask whether you have an experience, you'll say, yes, I studied Bachelor of Education in Business Education and Accounting, and after graduation, I was helping my mother in her shop, and I was doing the accounting, and I was adding up the stocks. I've been able to prepare a balance sheet for her, and I've been able to serve customers, so I even know about customer service in my mother's shop. Not because I was employed by somebody for me to think that that is now experience. Experience is everything that you do. I hope I've answered. Thank you.
Thank you. So as you can see, kama umekuwa uko nje unagonga mayai ama unauza smoky, we are aware that that is also an experience that you can give when you're in a job interview. So do not be afraid of giving the experience that you received. Moving on, sometimes you'll find that these great people out there, you find that you'll ask someone has business that is worth millions, but then you ask this person, what did you study in campus, or what was your career in campus? And this person will totally tell you something different from what he or she did, and they are flourishing in that field. If this person is a business person, you find that they will flourish, and they're doing great, but it is something that is not the slightest bit connected with the career that this person did. So my question is all hope lost in terms of the careers that we are doing? You find that someone is a teacher here, but going out there, securing a job becomes very difficult. So do we also, is the fate for everyone the same, or is there hope for people doing various courses amongst us?
Thank you very much. There is hope. Let me start by stating that. There is hope. And when everything is lost, you must never lose hope. Hope, they say hope is a good breakfast, a good lunch, but a very bad supper. Eh? So as much as you have hope, you must also now work hard. I want to pick it up from the first conversation, and there was also the element of what other skills and professional courses that people can do while they're still in campus. Friends, some of the well-paying careers or the activities or what you're saying business are not necessarily what is written on your graduation certificate. And that's why when we graduate, they pronounce and tell us, now you have the powers to read and write. All along they've been pouring. Now it is the time for you to scratch the surface, read for yourself, and write for others. I always tell this kind of gathering that success is a very interesting subject, because what you call success may not necessarily be what another person is calling success. But by and large, we can always agree who is successful and who is not successful. Sindio? Because even in the village, there is a person who passes and people say, hey, that person is very successful. Maybe himself, he doesn't even know that he's successful. So by and large, we can say who is successful. And one of the principle or the pillars that has helped many people to be very successful is, and that is my point number one, building on the issue of what is a career, is the network you build while you are in university. And I keep telling people, Gloria said she's fourth year. There's first year, there's second year, There's a fourth year who has even finished and is about to graduate. And all of you, God willing, you will graduate. Most of you will leave here with a certificate, written Bachelor of Education, written Bachelor of Science, written whatever it is going to be written. That is okay. That is an achievement. It's a statement that you came, you saw, you conquered. But there are others who will live with more than that. There are others who will live here, University of Eldoret, with wives. Others will live with husbands. Others will live with children. Others will live with business partners. Others will live with crime partners. Others will live with a church partner. Others will live here with a choir member. You will live here with all sorts of network. So my point is this. What kind of network are you building while you are at the university? Remember, we say your network is your net worth. If we picked your phone today and we were to scroll from number 1 to number 10, how many people in that phone you are very comfortable? If we had a problem today, umeshikwa na makarau, you will just make one call and you will be sorted. How many? How many people in your phone contacts? They are just filling your contacts. And for the last 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, actually you have never talked to them. And they have never talked to you. And some of these contacts, you even look at them and you try to remember, huyu alikuwa nani? Need to save Irene LD. Irene LD ni nani? Yeah? Have you experienced that? Or I'm the only one living in that planet? Because some of the networks that you're building are not necessary. Some of the contacts you're building are not necessary. And some are very critical for your success. Some people in your contacts from here, they are the ones who will tell you where the job is. They'll leave campus, they'll get a job, and they'll see an advert there, and they will remember, Ken used to be a very good friend of mine, and he was serious with his studies, and he was doing accounting. And they will call you, Niaje Bazu, hapa kuna opportunity, kuja. And by the way, let me tell you, most jobs are gotten through networks. Through networks. Through networks. There are so many companies in this country that you have never seen their advert, job vacancy on the newspaper. And then you ask yourself, don't they hire? And yet they're hiring every day.